Harry's Wife, Part 102.31, Ving, the Charitable. Some of you may remember Flash, Ash, who fought, of course, Ming, the Merciless. We now have Ving, the Charitable, and, of course, like any mid-range narcissist, and some greaters, but particularly mid-range, the issue of charity is something that's particularly appealing to mid-rangers. Mid-range narcissists, you know, operate a facade. Lower mid-range tends to be that of I'm a decent person, but with a bit of edge. I can't help it if I rub certain people up the wrong way. That's their problem. A combination of both lesser and mid-range. Upper mid-range is based upon superiority. I'm damn good at what I do, and if people can't deal with that, that's their problem. But ultimately, I do good things with my expertise. If people are envious about that, that's an issue for them. You should give me what I want because I'm fucking good. And then middle mid-rangers, both A and B, operate facades of believing they're really lovely people, kind, charitable, helpful. That they are the overwhelming angel, where particular type A, or that I'm a really decent person. I can't understand why people give me such a hard time or have a downer on me and get upset about it, where they're middle range type B. Charity, of course, is an excellent vehicle for the narcissist. It allows the assertion of control by turning up at charitable events and meeting people and shaking hands and smiling at them and asking them how long they've been involved and what drove them to do what they do and what are their plans for this, etc., etc. It allows the receipt of fuel from charitable actions, of course, enabling the narcissist to drink deep with that fuel from a variety of usually secondary and tertiary sources. It's extremely useful, naturally, for managing the facade to make the narcissist look good, and therefore is a residual benefit. Of course, some narcissists, particularly wealthy ones, will put their hands in their own pockets and use their own money as part of the pursuit of the prime aims. Other narcissists prefer to use other people's money to make them look good, to hijack other people's assets and commandeer them and pass them off as their own, thus making it look like they're involved in charitable activity, but they're doing so really in name only. When it comes to the hard graft of passing over money, they keep theirs separate and use other people's. We've seen Harry's wife do that in the past, commandeering Procter & Gamble's provision of nappies, diapers, that she has clearly utilised other people's charitable donations through the Archwell Foundation, therefore not putting her hand in her own pocket but using other people's money to make her look good. And it would appear that this is happening again, courtesy of the Express and an article by Alice Ghazi. The title states, Harry's wife and Prince Harry's Archwell Foundation contributes to £900,000 charity donation. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex launched their organisation Archwell, which comprises a non-profit foundation and 2 production powerhouses, in late 2020. Harry's wife spoke about 2 things that bring me great joy: electrocuting Harry's pink pods and the receipt of money. Lots of money. No. Apparently, Harry's wife spoke about 2 things that bring me great joy upon announcing a new partnership between the Archwell Foundation and the Ving, V-I-N-G, Ving project. The 2 organisations have teamed up to give a total of $1 million, £900,000, in grants to women who are deemed inspiring by young people. So far, the article doesn't tell us where the money's actually coming from. Could it be that the money belongs to the Ving project and it's donating the money and the Archwell Foundation is just lending its name to it? Or is the money coming from the Archwell Foundation and Ving are administering it? Or is it a 50-50 split? Maybe we'll find out in the balance of the article. But what is the Ving project? Well, according to their website, you're met with change someone's life in less than 2 minutes. Step 1, nominate. Send us a quick video, 1 to 2 minutes, about someone who you think deserves a $1,000 boost. This person must have a financial need, be 18 years or older. This person can't be a family member or yourself. And then there's a button to click to nominate. 2. Surprise someone in need. If selected, Ving will give you a $1,000 check to deliver to the recipient. It's really that simple. And it states, we put the change in your hands. And there's involvement, it would appear, with The Kelly Clarkson Show, CNN, GMA, ABC7, Today, Chicago's very own WGN9, Good News Network, ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, The View, Chicago Tribune, Fox 32 Chicago, and ABC7 Chicago. And there's various pictures of people looking rather pleased at the receipt of the check, and it states it's cool to be kind. Let's find out what the About section tells us. The Ving Project is a national movement sparking the next generation of givers. Through Ving, teens have an opportunity to give an individual in need an encouraging boost by surprising them with $1,000. Eligibility requirements. You are 14 to 18 years old, US resident. The nominee, 18 years or older, US resident, someone in financial need, and outside of your family. And what's a need? Let's find out. When you hear these words, it might be a need. Behind on, overwhelmed, tight on, no way, unexpected. When you hear these words, it might be a want, would enjoy, dreams of, hopes for, interested in, fingers crossed. So apparently, when somebody says, fingers crossed, my daughter will pull through the coma that she's in, that's a want rather than a need. But what do I know about these things? A note from Ving's founders tells us, we started the Ving Project to empower teens to make a difference in the lives of those around them. By providing them with small grants to give to people in need, we hope to provide an opportunity for them to experience the joys of giving. That feeling you get when you take the time to care about someone else who may be vulnerable. We hope we are giving teens more than just a $1,000 check to donate to someone in need. Our desire is to bestow young people with the confidence to lead with generosity and compassion. We recognise that more important than monetary donations is the consideration of others and the community around you. Our family is constantly inspired by the thoughtfulness and kindness we see from the Ving community. With teenagers of our own, we see the power and influence that young people hold today. We hope the Ving Project is a vehicle that allows teens to continue their journey of making the world a kinder, better place. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to spread the word. The more people Ving, the bigger the difference the next generation can make. Kindly, Liz and Eric Lefkowski. And those are the people, naturally, that have set up this charitable organisation, the Ving Project, which is there to encourage teens to give to older people to recognise that they have been, that some kind of need that they have is appropriately addressed. Well, on the face of it, all that seems all compassionate and decent, one would suppose. Now, returning to the Express article, it explains the partnership invites anyone between 14 and 18 to nominate women who inspire them, and while facing challenges, have worked hard to make their dreams come true and reach their goals. So it would appear that the partnership is only focusing on the grant being used for women, whereas the Ving Project, unless I missed that, is about teens as a whole, whether they are male or female. So once again, as far as Archwell's concerned, if you've got cock and balls, you're not of any interest to them. Only US residents, non-extended or immediate family members of the teenagers and women in need of financial assistance are eligible to be nominated for a grant. This initiative aims not only at supporting women in need, but also at enabling the next generation to give to others. So again, I suspect that a male teenager can nominate a woman, as can a female teenager. Harry's wife, who founded Archwell with Prince Harry in late 2020, said in a statement, "Two things that bring me great joy are supporting women and the spirit of giving." With the return of archetypes, Archwell Foundation and Ving have come together to create the perfect combination of these loves. I think a more accurate statement would have been, two things that give me great joy are creating the appearance of supporting women for managing my facade, and the spirit of receiving. With the return of archetypes, quick plug there, Archwell Foundation and Ving have come together to create the perfect combination of these loves. So accordingly, it would appear that either Ving is shouldering the burden of the finances, or I suspect there has been some kind of financial contribution from Archwell. But remember, Archwell is a foundation that operates on people's donations. It's not Harry's wife's money. So once again, she's utilising donations from other people to make her look good. Why not go about this without any song and dance? Why not just make the donation? Because apparently to her member of the coterie, Nina Mishmu, or whatever she's called, she said that Harry's wife does a lot behind the scenes. No, she doesn't. Well, she does a lot behind the scenes, but it's certainly not charitable. She has to make a song and dance about everything that she does. It has to be publicised because it has to be used to assert control, to triangulate people with it, to manage that facade, to draw the fuel. But why not do this quietly? Why not get involved with the partnership? You could put it up, of course, on your Archwell website in order to record what the foundation is doing. That would be fair enough, but you don't need to herald it left, right and centre. But of course her narcissism dictates that she has to. As I've mentioned before, there are many, many people who get involved in charitable works and don't talk about it. One of the most famous examples of that was George Michael, who regularly donated to charity and never told anybody about it, and only came out much later on, after his death. He wasn't governed by narcissism. There was nothing to compel him to utilise his charitable donations to exhibit false compassion and cognitive empathy. He just did it because he wanted to do it, and he didn't need a song and dance associated with it, unlike Harry's wife. The article continues, by donating $1 million in grants to women in need, our hope is not to only provide support where it may be felt deepest, but also empower young adults to embrace the gift of giving at an early age. I'm very proud of this partnership and the good we hope to see come from it. It doesn't talk about how it's necessarily vetted and selected. That's probably something they keep to themselves. Liz Lefkowski, founder of Ving, also spoke about the initiative in a press release, saying, "We share the joy of philanthropy with Archwell Foundation and are proud to help young people make a difference by giving a financial boost to others who are financially vulnerable." Ms. Lefkowski also said to be thrilled about this partnership, adding, "It's been extraordinary to see the impact of Ving on teens across America." Ving is a national movement which has been providing teens with the chance of supporting deserving individuals. To date, it has awarded nearly $1 million in $1,000 grants. Among the teenagers who have taken part in the initiative by Ving and Archwell so far is 16-year-old Zach Gottlieb, founder of Talk with Zach, who said to be deeply appreciative of the chance to shine a spotlight on women. The Los Angeles-based youngster added, "Through the partnership between Ving and Archwell Foundation, 1,000 more teens across the country like me will have the experience of changing someone's life in a meaningful, measurable way." This initiative was inspired by Harry's wife's podcast series, Archetypes, which was launched on Spotify in late August and is advertised on the webpage dedicated to the podcast on the Archwell website. The series aims at analysing and tearing down typecasts, aiming at holding women back, such as the Dragon Lady trope, the stigma surrounding being single, and how the word ambitions can take a negative connotation when used for women, but not men. Harry's wife has so far released 4 episodes as it paused for 3 weeks to pay respects to the late Queen, who died on September the 8th at Balmoral Castle. Fans of Harry's wife and Prince Harry were delighted by the news of the partnership, with Twitter user @Kahina3009 saying, "So proud of Harry's wife and Harry. They're giving back and doing impactful work. Amazing." Well, they're not giving back. They're using other people's money, either that which belongs to Ving or money donated to them, which they're then sending to Ving. Similarly, @Kajol Memento wrote, "Harry and Harry's wife are future-focused. We hope this will transcend to other countries in the world." Not if you're a man, it won't. And @Daiwimni added, "This is leadership. Thank you, Prince Harry and Princess Harry's wife. She's not a princess, you dope." Idiot for writing that. So, publicity surrounding all of this, and Ving in itself, of course, it seems like a rather sweet idea, I would imagine, that people see these things as donating to somebody who does good and is in some financial need, and a teenager recognises that and says, "You need a helping hand." And they evidently exist, I would assume, from other charitable donations to allow this to happen. And therefore, Harry's wife has come along and jumped on this, albeit note that it's only directed towards women who can be recipients. So one would assume that whatever amount of money that's being donated by Archewell is accompanied by the diktat, this can only be used for female nominees, not male. What do the Daily Express readers think about all of this if we take a jump below the line? What are their observations about it all? What do they think about this particular use of charity? Jan 57, straight in there with the observation that I've made. The people who donated money to Archewell are the ones actually giving the money. It is not coming out of their pocket, so totally misleading headline. Diggy Doda, exactly, and in reality it is not that much in the scale of things. Lilin, a mere drop in the ocean. Where is the rest of the money? They have not denoted it themselves. They are merely deciding who gets it, mainly women's charities in America. Pearl 2. Very misleading headline. The article does not specify what exactly they are contributing. Could they are just licensing their brand for its supposed PR value? Pieman 2. It might be a 900k charity, but this paper has failed to mention how much these two are actually donating to it. And of course, what is interesting about these observations is that, and these are just the first four, there's no, oh, this is really good. It's immediately seen with cynicism. And that's what Harry's wife engenders in people these days, that they are sick and tired of her behaviours, that they are sick and tired of the way that she jumps on bandwagons, that the way that she piggybacks causes for her own ends. They're sick and tired of the way that she uses other people's money to make her look good. And therefore, there'll be those that will say, oh, leave her alone. She's doing something nice. But the point is, if she didn't behave the way that she did, and didn't make a song and dance about everything that she's involved in, people would just leave her be. They would go, okay, yep, she's involved in a charity. But the fact is, because it's her, and because of her behaviours, immediately people's mindset is set to this. I bet this isn't how it seems. I bet there's more to this than meets the eye. Oh no, this is just about making her look good. Actually, this isn't her money, is it? And so on and so forth. And therefore, that repeated cynicism comes to bear. And that's what happens, basically, with certain narcissists that overexpose themselves in this way, that the majority of people, i.e. those with functioning brain cells, even though they don't necessarily see that the person is a narcissist, what they do see is this person's behaviour isn't as wholesome as you are being led to believe, and instead it's something else entirely. Bella01 writes, so what was their donation? Let me guess, $10. It's amazing how they can spin a positive on a very lukewarm story. Guest Who adds, and a few overripe autographed bananas. Seahorse1 writes, they will do anything to try to salvage their plummeting reputation. That ship has sailed due to their continual self-serving and aggrandizing behaviour. A few PR stunts are not going to change the way they are perceived. They are hurtful liars with no ethics, characters, or morals. Who trouts a charity that gives them 95% for expenses and operating costs, and only gives a measly 5% to help others? Guess that would be the toxic duo. Verite. All this fake PR, just because the Prince and Princess of Wales will be flying into Boston soon. Maggot has got to be in the news first. How pathetic. Your Mirror does not say Princess or Queen, dearie, no matter what you put out in the news. Sad, deluded maggot. Margot48. I wonder if she shares her spirit of giving with her poor father, who's very ill, and supported her financially in every other way until she was in her 20s. Adele says foodie. Don't forget the recent PR exercise with the writer from The Cut, where she had her security get out of the car and give a homeless man a backpack with a granola bar and a bottle of water. Verite. Ah, Mother Maggot blessing the poor of the slums. Certa Sitso. What a couple of grifters. They disgust me. Moxie Lady, didn't Archwell declare only £35 funds raised for charity last year, after Harry's wife and Harry paid out all their various expenses? This article doesn't say how much Ving donated to this particular cause, but I suspect most of it, and Archwell put in a fiver. Archwell philanthropy is all hot air and self-publicity for Harry and Harry's wife, but particularly Harry's wife. Ellie3802, strange that Ving don't mention Archwell as partners on the website, just state that the Lefkowski Family Foundation is behind the charity. And this news only states that they have contributed. Does that mean they gave $20? KidQ 2021, why must they advertise donations? Still greedy for attention, I guess. Washing machine. They promise to give but don't say when they will give over what time period. How many are likely going to be eligible or receive the grants? Looks like 1,000 people, but when? How much is administrative costs? No information is given for any of this. Plus, it's only women who are going to be eligible. How is this even called a charity at all, when it's not a not-for-profit company who can legally spend 95% on administration costs? Rolling Stone. The problem with the Archwell Foundation is that any donations that are made to it, only 5% actually goes to a charity. The rest, 95%, goes into the Sussex's back pocket. That's the reason it was set up in Delaware. The Sussexes aren't the only celebrities that have done this. It's legal in Delaware, though morally wrong. Verite, of course it is. If Maggot is dead serious about donating, she should give away those blood diamonds for a start. Rolling Stone, that's the problem with rich celebrities. They expect the poor to hand over every penny while they cling to their jewellery and assets. They are all hypocrites. Old Reo, what was their contribution? Just another free PR headline. Old Poacher, money made from betraying the United Kingdom. Adele says foodie, another bandwagon to jump on. The two organisations have teamed up to give a total of $1 million in grants to women who are deemed inspiring by young people. So $500,000 of other people's money is all they could spare. That's 1,000 girls giving money to 1,000 women who inspire them but already have a job. Why not give the money directly to the young women? I'm betting a bunch of sugars will nominate Meghan herself so the money goes right into their own pocket. Also wondering how many of these 14-year-olds are going to nominate some TikTok personality who inspires them while dancing around in as little clothing as possible. Klezmer. People fail to acknowledge Harry's wife's humanitarian work. Only last week, the Duchess donated an unopened bottle of organic soy sauce to a homeless family in Inglewood, a deprived area of Los Angeles. A CNN film crew happened to be in the area and recorded the entire act of selfless generosity. Don Lemon interviewed the grateful recipients who swapped the tasty sauce for milk formula to feed their baby twins. You won't find that reported in the tabloids. Moonlit buttocks. What I don't understand is why is it just women? What's wrong with giving to blokes or boys? What's her problem with them? Catherine's charity, Early Learning, and mental illness is all-inclusive, the way it should be. Green Marlin responds, this pair is sexist. Moonlit buttocks. I think that's always been her goal. That's why she promoted her mother to the wedding but cancelled out her father. Had both her parents been ethnic, I think she would have included her father. India Flynn. Guess they got to start doing this before their current charitable donations are investigated. Pair of tax dodgers. Referee 47. More virtual signalling. Susie 23. Hasn't Archwell sat stagnant for several months? Seahorse 1. This charitable, in inverted commas, foundation was set up for helping them financially, making them look altruistic. They remain a pair of unethical and deceitful grifters. Old Nick, please will one of the 900 people come forward and tell us they received the money. It's not difficult, is it? Or is it? Con Yankee, how much of a cut did they get themselves? Pivoine Rouge, and what is Archwell's contribution? Percentage in that partnership, pray tell, as it's not mentioned. I guess it's pretty darn low. Slim Sal, Netflix money so they have something to film. And on it goes. Basically, nobody saying this is a good thing, but people questioning the motives, questioning the level of donation, the fact that it's, again, the fact that most of the foundation's money can go on expenses. And the whole point of this is that Harry's wife attempts to assert control by heralding this charitable donation, but because of the way that she's seen, it once again backfires, with people just shaking their heads and questioning it rather than lauding it. Her downward spiral continues. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.